You are now listening to Scheduling Fate, hosted by author and counseling astrologer Jamie McGee. For more information, please go to schedulingfate.com. Hi there, and welcome to Scheduling Fate. I'm your astrologer, Jamie McGee, and today we are going to continue on with our series about manifesting with astrology. Now, we have already worked through the 7 traditional planets, and I do want to explore the outer planets, but in order to really understand those, because they're in place for so long and they're a generational planet, we would want to understand the houses. And to understand the houses, I think a good place to start would be the ascendant. So, the next couple of episodes that you're going to hear in the series is going to be one about the ascendants today. Then we're going to talk about the houses, and then we'll dive into those outer planets so you can really understand how you or your generation manifest in this area of your life using those energies. So, for the last 7 videos, I have ensured that very first intro into why I think this is such an amazing practice, looking at how you work with the law of attraction, how you work with manifestation, how you can be self aware of what you're attracting to you, and how you can work with that energy. I've ensured that intro is in every video. I'm not going to put that in this video. So if you have not heard me talk about this before, I encourage you to find that link underneath here. Go listen to that first video. Go listen to all of them because that'll really help you start to conceptualize how you are consciously or unconsciously attracting. All right, with that being said, I just want to remind you that underneath this podcast, you are going to find a link to a free chart. You're also going to find a link to a free workbook. And if you would like to be part of my Moongate membership for less than $5 a month, get discounts on the reports that are tailored to your personal chart, working with me, a great calendar that you can add with all astrological insights from me on it. That's less than $5 a month. And there's also a link for that. All right, so our topic for today is about the ascendant or the AC. Now, when you are first on a journey of self-exploration and learning your chart, it's easy to understand what your sun sign is. You put in your birthday, you're like, this is me, no doubt about it. The ascendant is a giant leap forward because in order to understand what your ascendant is, your rising sign, you must know what time you were born. And it's not something that you can guess. The universe moves every 4 minutes. Now, with that being said, please do not panic. If you do not know what time you were born, we can still discern a lot. Astrologers can still discern a lot by understanding what planet is in what sign and how those planets are talking to each other, the aspects. And then there's a great tool called rectification that can help us look at your life events and understand what your rising sign is. But that rising sign is the key. It is the doorway. It opens up how your chart is set up. It says this is house 1. And if we know where house 1 is, we know where the other 12 are. And the houses represent areas of our life. A great way to think about this is the house is the stage, the planets are the actors, and the sign is how those planets act on that stage. That's always a good thing to remember when you're first learning astrology. But knowing that first house, we're able to see the flow of how your entire chart works together. And it's remarkable what you can learn from that energy. Now, that first house is all about you. It's yourself. It's how you look. And it's pretty interesting because the way that I tell people, and if you worked with me one-on-one, you've heard this, the sun sign is your crown. It's like what you are adorned with in this life. The moon sign is sort of like where you hold the doctorate or the PhD. That's your instinct. You do it so well. You're masterful at it that you don't even think about it. It naturally happens. But your rising sign, your AC, is sort of like being on the junior varsity team. You're wearing the jersey. Everyone sees you as that. And this is one of those areas where I'm like, the universe has a sense of humor. Because when people meet you, they meet that rising sign. They don't necessarily meet your sun sign. They meet the rising sign. So even though you're the new person on the team, just trying to figure out how to be what your rising sign is, that's the energy that comes out first and just reaches out and smiles. It's the mask that we wear. That's one of the ways that it's described in text. Now, what does this have to do with manifestation? Well, when we look at how the houses are set up, there are houses that are very public. They're things that you can't hide. Like, this is what I look like. These are my partners. This is my family. This is my home work-life balance. Those are public areas of our lives. Those are the public angular houses. This is 1, 7, 4, and 10. These areas impact us on a really powerful level because often, sometimes unfortunately, we're more outwardly focused than inwardly focused. So understanding how these energies are working at these pivotal angular areas helps us understand what we are consciously or unconsciously attracting to us. Now, please keep in mind, this is just one layer. This is just your ascendant, understanding what planets are in these houses and what conversations those planets are having, who they answer to, and who that planet answers to, all adds a very unique, one of a kind experience of this lifetime that you have. There is not another person on this planet that has your chart, your perspective. You're here for a reason in this lifetime, and is to express how you use that energy. But I think that these are great first steps for you to start to understand, okay, this is how I naturally attract. So as we go through the signs, we're going to start at the top and go to the bottom. We're going to look at how you work with this energy. But I encourage you to pull out that free chart that's underneath it or a chart that you already have. Look at the planets that you have in those areas and realize that that is another layer. And also consider what is transiting through that area of your life? Because you may, when we get into the houses, I know we're going to have questions like, I don't have anything in this area. What does that mean? There is going to be something transiting through that area of your life. The moon moves through there every single month, but the rest of the planets, they're going to start talking to it, whether by transit or actually being present in that house. So, understanding these areas of your life is so vital, and understanding these angular areas that we're about to talk about. Those are some big, significant life shifts that come in, or things that are just so in your face, in your awareness. By understanding them, you can say, okay, unconsciously or consciously, this is what I always bring into my life, or this is the stage. Remember, the house is the stage, the sign is how those actors on that stage act. This is what I bring in. And if you know that setting, if you understand that theme, then you can engage to ensure that you are calling in what you want to see more of in your life. So again, there's a free chart underneath this broadcast. There's a link to the original video. There's a great booklet. If you want to work one-on-one with me, there is a great link for you to get discounts on doing that as well. All right, let's dive in. All right, so if you are an Aries rising, your ruling planet is Mars. So I encourage you to find where Mars is in your chart, what sign it's in, how that energy flows through. Always happy to help you with that. This is of cardinal fire energy, which means it initiates, it takes action. You're not afraid of leaping into a new direction. Aries automatically comes with action because it's Mars. It's very bold, it sets clear intentions. And even though it's scared to death, inside, on the outside, it looks like it has everything planned. Now, when it comes to your home life, your foundations, that is ruled by Cancer and it's ruled by the moon. So, emotional security, having something that nurtures you at home so you have the courage to go out and be really bold is important. So, look and see what planets are in that Cancer house. How do you naturally comfort yourself? How deep are your family ties? How shallow are they? Your seventh house, who you naturally partner with. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean romantic. It could be friends. It could be open enemies, people you compete with. It could be your clients. This is Libra. This is an energy for you in your life that needs balance. It needs a harmony and it opposes you. So you may find as an Aries rising that either you are all about me or you're really concerned about the other person. And you will not see this written a lot about Aries risings, but some of their shadow tendencies could be people pleasing. They're so concerned about what this person thinks, or they're trying to overcompensate for being independent that they find themselves off balance. So, with this energy, you may ask yourself, how well do I compromise with others? And some indicators about how you work with that energy, I would encourage you to see where Venus is in your chart and what energy that works with. Now, your 10th house, how you're known in the world, the authority figures that you attract into your life, that type of temperament that you have is Capricorn. It is very much about discipline and long term planning, which is offsetting to that Aries energy, which it should be because this is in a square. So early on in your life, you may have found that you were really good at taking initiative, but authority figures were telling you that you needed to understand why you were taking the initiative anyways. You didn't need to understand how to get from point A to point B or what was going to happen, but you need to have a solid reason why. I am doing this for this reason because Capricorn has a reason for what it's doing. It's trying to build a legacy. It's trying to build something that is timeless. And it understands that you may not have all the directions, but you're going to get there. So I think if you reflect on where Saturn is in your chart, you'll understand the type of authority figures that you're attracting into your life, how you lead or how you are perceived by others. And by knowing that, what can you do about it? How can you change those situations to ensure that you are manifesting consciously? All right. So if you are a Taurus rising, you are ruled by Venus. So it's very important to understand where Venus is in your chart, what that energy is answering to, how it's flowing. Is it visible? Is it hidden? This is a fixed earth sign. So it's grounded and it's practical. It has to be your idea for a change to happen because you do not like change. If anyone ask you to change, you're going to dig your heels in and go just a little bit slower. Now, the first house is your body. And as an earth sign, you are highly aware of your senses and how everything feels on your body, how everything tastes. And because you are, you're really aware of the quality of things that you bring into your body or have on your body or around your body. You're kind of known for that. I have this joke that if you want to know where the best restaurant is or how to get the best deal, find a tourist, rising. Now, when it comes to your home life, you attract a very creative, beautiful, one of a kind energy because it's ruled by Leo. That's that fourth house. So I would encourage you to notice where your sun is and how that energy is manifested. It could be full of joy, warmth, charisma. That's the kind of family environment that you attract to yourself. So is that working for you or against you? Are you desiring that or do you already have it? And, with this energy, because it's fixed, it's also an area of your life that doesn't like a lot of change either. So you may find that if you don't have the home life that you want right now, it could be because you're holding on to something that you need to let go of to move forward with. And considering that you have Uranus in your sign right now, I can imagine that that's been a little bit of a challenge. Now, when it comes to your partnerships, you partner really well with someone that you can feel on a soul deep level where words aren't really needed. This seventh house for you is ruled by Scorpio. So I would notice where Pluto is. I would notice where Mars is in your chart because that gives you more layers to the type of friendships or partnerships that you attract into your life. It could be a little bit secretive or mysterious, or I don't really understand this. It's kind of even a little bit provocative in the partnerships that you have. So vulnerability, intimacy, some of that stuff is a little tricky for you. It goes back and forth. And it's been really tricky for you in the recent years because that's where we've had the eclipses. But definitely consider where Mars and Pluto is because that's going to shape some of that mystery that you have when it comes to your partners. Now, the way that people see you or the authority figures that you have naturally attracted into your life are very unique. They're one of a kind. This area of your life is ruled by Aquarius, which is about to go through some powerful shifts over the next 20 years as Pluto completely moves into this area. It's about being one of a kind, thinking outside of the box, being completely who you are and being unapologetically who you are, but transfixed in the position that you're in. So you could have had some quirky parents that were out of the box. You could have had some quirky bosses that you work with, but you're intrigued by how they make your mind work. And because of that, it influences how you lead in your life. So kind of think about how you can use all these energies. What type of people have you attracted in? Is that working for you or against you?